Hi, I hope all is well with you and that you're staying safe. Well, we're getting close. Pesach is just around the corner, and we're looking forward to another Seder or two Sedarim and a wonderful Chag. The question is, are we going to be any more inspired this year than we have been in previous years? Are we able to make this Zman Cherusenu a more memorable experience for us and something for us to carry with us even after the Chag is over? And the answer is that we definitely should, and that's what we should strive for. And ultimately, that's what the purpose of the Chag is. I think in order to be able to do that, I think we have to have a better understanding of the purpose of Pesach, as well as all the other Chagim. And unfortunately, too many people are under the assumption that the reason why we have the Chagim is to commemorate what took place many years ago. Now, there's no question about the fact that when it comes to Pesach, as well as Shavuos and Sukkot, we are commemorating what took place, and it helps us strengthen our emunah. But it's a lot more than that. Chazal teach us that during the specific times of the Chagim that we have, including Hanukkah and Purim for that matter, there are certain nitzots. There are certain spiritual emanations, call them sparks, if you will, that permeate this world. Now, we're not used to living really that much in the spiritual world. We live in the physical world. But when it comes down to it, our lives are nothing if not spiritual. And Chazal teach us that during the Chagim, at each particular Chag, the nitzots of that Chag permeate the world, and we are able, if we try hard enough, to tap into those spiritual nitzots, those spiritual sparks. And if you think that I'm speaking too highfalutely, we have all experienced it, all of us. Think about Yom Kippur. Think about Elul Zman. Is our davening a little better during those times? During Nila? Why? Now, don't say it's because we're taking it more seriously, which we are. But the reason is, during those times specifically, we are tapping into the nitzots of tshuva. And because we tapped into those nitzots, whether we realize it or not, we were able to daven with more kavanah. We were able to reach a certain level of tshuva that is so much more difficult to reach during the rest of the year. Pesach is Zman Cherusenu. The nitzots of Pesach will, Emetz Hashem, permeate in the world throughout these 7 or 8 days. It's our opportunity to reach a certain level of freedom that we haven't reached before. What is freedom? Freedom is the ability to choose freely those things that we do, those things that we think about. The individuals that wake up in the middle of the night and have to check their smartphone to see if there are any new notifications that they've received are not free. They're suffering from an addiction. And so many of us suffer from so many different addictions. Pesach gives us the opportunity, if we tap into those nitzots, to free ourselves from the shackles that we are drawn towards. The Ribono Shel Olam gives us the opportunity to freely serve him. When the alarm clock rings in the morning for a man to get out of bed every single day, he has that choice. That's what Bechira is all about. He can roll over and go back to sleep. If he chooses to get up, he is freely using his Bechira Chavshis to do so. A person who unfortunately can only reach a certain level of yeshiva das if they reach for a bottle of liquor is not free. All the various addictions, even the addictions that we don't look at as being addictions, shopping addictions, news addictions, sports addictions, friends addictions. I have to become part of that group. I have to be part of that group. Even though I know down deep that being part of that group is really not good for me. I have to be friends with this particular individual, even though down deep I know that's not good for me. These are all situations where we show that we lack the freedom of choice. Pesach gives us the opportunity, if we tap into it, to develop our amunah in the Ribono Shel Olam. And the stronger our amunah is regarding the Ribono Shel Olam, the stronger we become to be able to make free decisions. Because ultimately, an individual who strives to move in a positive direction can only do so if they're free to make intelligent, correct decisions. That's one of the things that we have to try to focus on. As we sit down to the Seder and we describe what took place many, many years ago, and to perhaps tie it into all those things that have taken place over the last 2,000 years, and even the things that took place over this past year, to be able to see the Yad Hashem and to be able to realize that everything that happens to us is orchestrated by the Ribono Shel Olam. Pesach is a wonderful opportunity to spend time with our families, to learn, to daven, and to think, and to make decisions of how our lives can be better if we're not shackled by distractions, if we're not shackled by addictions. We should all strive to be able to reach a higher madrega this year than we have in the past. When we daven to the Ribono Shel Olam to give us the siyata d'shmaya, so that we can continue to move in a positive direction and ultimately become those individuals that we so much would like to become. Wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a Chag kosher v'sameach. Kol tov.